Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is day 467 documentary series from Zero to Millionaire. I live in a third world country named Uzbekistan in Central Asia. Epiphany, which we had in beginning of 2025, from January to July, that's what I call the first half of the year, um, is the fact that we can actually, instead of trying to, the mindset that we had before is we're going to make this business work. We're going to make it. We're gonna get to a stage where we are making 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 or whatever the amount of money you name, and we're making it stable. And then after we can meet up. Then after we can go to a certain country where we both meet up, rent a home, and just work together or something like that. That was the beautiful future of our agency, of ourselves, of our business. That was the ideal scenario, ideal future, right? But then a dirtier future, not as perfect, but almost the same as good, came to one of our minds. And that was me who came up with a stupid idea, but then I somehow made my co-founder to agree to this idea as well, which was we can actually F all these rules which say to us that we have to do it through business. If we want a new level, which is getting off of our countries, a third world country, getting to a first world or a second world country, both of us together, renting a home and cooking stuff together, which is our agency, and not thinking about anything else. No parents, no bullshit friends. It's just me and him and our business. We, work 24 hours, 7 days a week. So the idea was we can actually, because I think I had a previous experience of working for someone before it, but we actually can just get a normal 9 to 5, normal freaking them 9 to 5, save up maybe for 3 or 4 or even 6 months, $1 to $2,000. Both of us, him from Tunisia, I'm from Uzbekistan, fly out of our countries to UAE, either Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Sharjah, don't really matter. We rent a home, and he didn't have a visa-free access, so he had to make either a tourist visa or work visa. So for his, and actually mine as well, like I had only 30 days free pass for visa. So the idea was to, and that's the older idea. I'm not. I'm about to talk about the newer one. I'm sorry. So the old idea was this kind of crap, which still I guess makes sense. If you are, the problem was that we didn't have anything going on for the business at that time, and we were understandably very pessimistic about our agency, right? So the goal was to save up, so basically make money right here, right now, so that we do not starve tomorrow. And that was the logic. And then after we get to UAE, the logic was we get a job out there for ourselves. First of all, to not starve, right? Uh, and the second of all, we needed a work visa in order to be able to stay in the territories of the United Arab Emirates for longer than 1 month. My visa, even if my passport, even if it's visa free for me, it allows me only for I think 30 days visa free, and then I have to get out of the country. So I didn't want to mess around. I was flying here back and forth, and just getting a job would solve all of our problems, right? All of our insecurities. And what we wanted, we stay in UAE, we rent one home, we both of us get a job, get jobs, and we work 8 hours a day. And then after our normal 9 to 5, we come back home, both of us come back home, and we work on our agency 2 to 3 to 4 hours a day. So that was the logic. And then as we move closer to the July, right? Um, the plan sort of changed because I think we landed one client on July. We landed one single American client, which is paying us still to this day, not still to this day, but until December of 2025, 400 a month. Okay, $400 a month we were getting paid from this client, which at that time for you and I, for me and him, was an incredible, incredible, because now we didn't really have to think about getting a job in the United Arab Emirates. We had a source of income which was providing for us, and all we gotta do is just increase it. Okay, we had to just provide more value to the same one client, or we had to land more clients in the future. But there was a problem. I landed a job in July and I couldn't work on the business. So all of my free time I was either resting from this 9 to 5, and I was working night shift, um, as well as my co-founder. He was attending school and he had 10 hours of school for some reason, I don't know why. And it so happened that none of us had the time to work on business. Both of us were very frustrated with the same thing, and thankfully, thankfully, that has passed. Okay, it's 2025 has gone, um, and we did what we should have done. It's not necessarily what we wanted to do. And in my perfect dreams, I would have already become a millionaire by the age of 16 or something like that. But I was an 18-year-old kid which had some money saved up to his name, but I wasn't a millionaire. I was just a guy who landed the job as a freaking assistant of an SMMA, so social media manager, and getting paid 500 a month. I quit that job, and I didn't had neither experience because I didn't really learn anything in that job. So I was just this guy who was running and bringing coffees in some sense, and it was kind of a little bit low moment for me. I didn't had saved up 10,000. Okay, it was only 2,000. The amount of money some people make in 1 month, I did in 6 months. So anyway, it's 2026. Here is the newer plan. Okay, me and him, both of us make content. He sold me this idea. It's actually his idea and his plan, and I'm just trusting him. Last year, he just trusted me, and both of us were intending to get a job, and he actually almost got a job. I think he made some money out of it as well, but then he quit it as like I did. So 2026 is a learning year. 2025 was earning year. I think and I hope 2026 is going to be a learning year, because 2020 we are standing on the shoulders of the giants which were ourselves in the past. So without the foundations that we laid, aka the money that we saved, which is the air that we're breathing right now, okay, without this air, I can promise you, I mean, my mom and those grandparents that I have would not almost never let me sit down right here like you and I are talking right now. When I was like 14, 15, 16, I think, you know, they were messing around. But now that when I'm 18, 19, oh my God. So we have let's take a gap of 6 months, right? It's not a very clear plan like we had last year, but I mean it's been only like 12 days, okay? Since the February 1st, it's been 12 to 13 days that we are able to think and breathe air. So I'm pretty sure that I think we're going to come up with something. But this plan is already pretty great one. It's an updated sort of version of the previous plan. So we have a time horizon from now till I think June to July, in which we are going to be making content like crazy. And I mean, you can see from here that the actual, and I mean, I I have to show you this thing. So this is the new way that we do the things around right here, right now. Okay? We just have certain things written down here, and it's February 2026, February, and it's 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13, 14, and until 23. And if you turn one page, we have everything until the months of April laid down, and I just have to write the things. But I mean, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? We are going almost all in into the organic and content marketing. This is a shit which, in my opinion, takes time, but my co-founder sort of made me sure that we're going to make content not like the other people do it, and we're going to be making sure. So we are going to be inviting people who are, in some sense, potential clients, in some sense, to our podcast to just get to know of each other, right?